Good morning, students. I'm happy to meet you again through this lecture series. So, this is actually not a full lecture, but the revision of Unit 5 important questions, Part A and Part B questions we can revise. So, Unit 5 deals with human population and environment. And now we are going to see the important Part A and Part B questions. So part A question, the first question is what is meant by population and population explosion. So population means it's defined as the number of people living in a particular area at a given time. So population density means number of people per unit area or unit volume, you can tell. Now, population explosion means an enormous increase in population due to low death rate and high birth rate. That is known as population explosion. So, population explosion, the variation among nations, will be seeing it in part B question. So, there we can see in detail about all these things. Then, second question is what is value education? So value education means, see, education means it is an attempt, a systematic attempt towards human learning or acquiring knowledge in a particular subject. Now here value education means the education that develops cultural, spiritual and moral values and makes one able to take right judgment in one's own life is called value education. That is, it develops this cultural aspects, spiritual aspects, moral values are being created, and one will be able to take a right judgment in one's own life. ஒருத்தவங்க அவங்க வாழ்க்கையில் வேண்டியதை கரெக்டாக அவங்க ஜட்ஜ் பண்ணி எடுத்துக்கலாம். என்ன சாய்ஸோ அதை கரெக்டாக ஜட்ஜ் பண்ணி எடுத்துக்கலாம். ஸோ மாரல் வேல்யூ, கல்ச்சரல் இருக்கும், ஸ்பிரிச்சுவல் எல்லாமே சேர்ந்து தான் இட் இஸ் நோன் அஸ் வேல்யூ education. Now this value education, it is an important thing, and there are many objectives of value, methods of imparting, everything we have seen. So it is also one of the important thing one should know about it. And the next one is about human rights. What's meant by human rights? See, human rights means it's a fundamental right which is possessed by all human beings irrespective of their caste, nationality, sex and language. So we all know that India is a democratic country, and human rights means it's the fundamental right of an individual. So irrespective of caste, religion, nationality, sex, language, etc. So right possessed by a human being is known as human right. Then what do you mean by, next question is what is infant mortality rate? So we know that there are four parameters which govern the population growth. One is natality, mortality, immigration and emigration. So in that, birth rate or it is known as natality, and death rate or otherwise it is known as mortality. So infant mortality means it is the percentage of infants died out of those born in 1 year. So in 1 year, how many children are born, and out of the children born in 1 year, how many children died. So that percentage is known as infant mortality rate. So infant mortality rate is the percentage of infants died out of those born in 1 year. I think you have understood this one. And the next one is what is NIMBY syndrome. So NIMBY syndrome, NIMBY means not in my backyard, not in my backyard. So we know that there are so many developmental activities, see, airport, construction of railway tracks, roadways, nuclear power plants, all these are essential for the development of a society. But this one sometimes causes public nuisance such as noise pollution, heavy traffic and so on. So this kind of projects, they are opposed by the nearby residents. So the people living nearby that project area, they will be opposing this type of developmental activities, and this is called NIMBY syndrome. See, if an airport is there means it is needed for the development of a society. So new technological developments, airport is very important. But the people living nearby that area, they get irritated because of the noise pollution, because of heavy traffic and so on. So they'll be opposing these type of projects, and that is known as NIMBY syndrome. Hope you have understood this question. Then the next one is write the test available to test AIDS. So AIDS, what do you mean by AIDS? Acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. So this is caused by HIV virus, that is human immunovirus. So we all know about this AIDS, and in my unit 5 lecture I have not given this test, so only I am giving it here. So ELISA test. So ELISA test means it is enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. ELISA, the full form is enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. So this is used to detect HIV infection. So if a person is infected with human immunovirus, then ELISA test can be done. See, we cannot depend only on this test. So if an ELISA test is positive, then Western blot test is administered to confirm the diagnosis. So this is the confirmatory test, Western blot test. So it separates the blood proteins and it detects the specific proteins called HIV antibodies that indicate an HIV infection. So if there is a HIV infection, then HIV antibodies will be there. So this Western blot test, it separates the blood proteins and detects the anti-HIV antibodies. So this is used to confirm a positive ELISA test, and if both are positive, then the combined test are said to be 99.9% accurate and the patient is infected with HIV or AIDS, we can tell. So these two tests, you remember, I have already studied in your school days also. ELISA test and Western blot test are the two tests available for identifying AIDS or HIV. See, now this HIV, it is a virus spread through certain body fluids that attacks the body's immune system, specifically the CD4 cells, often called T cells. See, in our body, T cells are there, and these T cells, they only is responsible for the immunity power. So if a person is infected with HIV, then it destroys many of these T cells. So our immunity power will decrease. So HIV can destroy so many cells that the body can't fight off infections and disease. These special cells help the immune system fight off infections. See, T cells fight other infections. But if HIV is entered into a body through the body fluids or through blood, then it will be destroying T cells. So it will be destroying the immunity power. So if it is untreated, HIV, it will reduce the number of CD4 cells or T cells in the body. So the immune system will be damaged and the body will not be able to fight off infections and some other diseases. So mainly the sources in the unit 5 test, one question is asked, what are the sources that's present in the human body for HIV virus. So the main sources is body fluids or blood. So our body contains T cells. T cells ஒரு செல்ஸ் இருக்காது, CD4 செல்ஸ்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. இதுதான் என்ன பண்ணால் இம்யூனிட்டி பவர் ஹையாக நமக்கு கொடுக்கும். ஸோ வேறு ஏதாவது இன்ஃபெக்ஷன் வந்துச்சுன்னா இந்த T செல்ஸ் அதை ஃபைட் பண்ணி இந்த இன்ஃபெக்ஷன் பாடிக்குள்ளே நுழையாதபடிக்கு அது வந்து பாதுகாக்கும். ஆனால் இப்போ ஹெச்ஐவி வைரஸ் உள்ளே வந்துருச்சுன்னா, ஹியூமன் இம்யூனோ வைரஸ் உள்ளே இருந்துச்சுன்னா, இது என்ன பண்ணால் T செல்ஸோட போராடி T செல்ஸ் எல்லாம் கொஞ்சம் கொஞ்சமாக அழிச்சிரும். அப்போ ஹியூமன் பாடியோட இம்யூனிட்டி பவர் குறையும். ஸோ என்ன இன்ஃபெக்ஷன் வந்தாலும் ஈஸியாக இட் வில் பி அஃபெக்டட். இதுதான் அதனுடைய எப்படி வந்து எய்ட்ஸ் பேஷண்ட்க்கு எல்லா டிசீஸும் அவனுக்கு வந்துடும். ஃபீவர் வரும், கோல்டு வரும், காஃப் வரும், டிபி வரும், கேன்சர் வரும், எல்லாமே வரும். ஏன்னா இம்யூனிட்டி பவர் இஸ் பீங் லெஸ், T cells are being reduced. Hope you have understood about this HIV. Okay, coming to the part B questions. Say, explain the role of IT in the protection of environment and human health. So we know that it is an important question. And what is the role of IT, information technology, in environment protection and human health? So I have given in detail in my lecture about this fifth unit. In the last lecture I have given about this one. So in environment protection, remote sensing information system is there, database is there, environmental information system is there, then NMIS, National Management Information System is there, GIS, Geographical Information System is there, satellite data is there, then computer based weather forecasting is there, the internet, websites, computer networking, in NEDS, National Emission Data System, that is also there. So for environment protection, all these databases can be used, or this IT methods can be used, and we can collect, process, store and give the information. So that is the use of information technology in environment protection. Then in human health, bioinformatics is there, genome sequencing is there, online medical transcription is there, then maintaining database for drugs and diseases is also there. So telemedicine is there. So National Institute of Occupational Health, they deal with bioinformatics and telemedicine. So even through a video conferencing, patients can be administered medicine, and operations or surgeries can be done based on their idea or their technology what they are giving. Okay, hope you have understood this one. The next one is briefly discuss the various schemes launched for women and child welfare in India. See, women and child welfare, it's an important thing. Both are very important identities of human society. So for women welfare, we know that to create an awareness about environment, then to provide education and vocational training, to reduce the population growth, to improve the employment opportunities, then to maintain the dignity, status, equality and respect. For this only women welfare programs are there. So various women welfare programs means Indra Mahila Yojana, National Commission for Women, then Mahila Samriddhi Yojana is there. So all these are women welfare programs by the government. Similarly, coming to the child welfare also, see, children, they occupy nearly 40% of the total population. Children are the assets of the society. They are hopes of the future. So they are usually soft and they suffer in a number of ways. And we know that nearly 25 million children in our country are working as child labor in various hazardous industries like match industry, firework industry, pottery industry, construction work, etc. So for child welfare, there are some welfare programs are there. Sarva Siksha Abhiyan. So we know that to provide 8 years quality education to all children between 6 and 14 years. Then Balika Samriddhi Yojana. So there also it encourages enrollment of girl children in schools, so giving them scholarship. And by this scheme, by this Balika Samriddhi Yojana, nearly 20 lakh girls were benefited. Then integrated child development services are the immunization, preschool education, then regular health checkup, nutrition and health education to children and women are there. Then program of development of women and children in rural areas. So rural areas welfare programs are conducted, and they concentrate on health, education, nutrition, clean and safe drinking water, sanitation, environment, etc. So these are the important women and child welfare schemes. The next question is discuss the causes and control measures of population explosion. So we know that population explosion, increase in population due to low death rate and high birth rate. So what are the main causes? Because medical facilities are modern, so mortality rate is decreased. Then increase of life expectancy, then illiteracy. They are some of the causes for population education explosion. Then what are the effects means? So problem for food, clothing and shelter, then lack of basic facilities like water supply, sanitation, then lack of education is there, then crisis for food and energy, low standard of living, then crime rate also increases with increase in population, then increase in population creates desertification, deforestation, soil erosion and so on. Then communal war increases, unemployment is there, all these are effects. Now what are the measures to reduce this population explosion means, see two important things: checking the birth rate and enhancing the resources. So we have to educate the people to reduce birth rate, then provide incentives in terms of money, then people should be forced to limit the size of the family, then accelerating the process of industrialization, expanding the philosophy of urbanization. So all these things, all these measures helps to reduce the population explosion. Now coming to the next question, write note on various methods of family welfare programs. So family welfare means, so it covers human health, maternity, family welfare, child care, women's rights, everything. Okay, so main objective of this family welfare program means to improve the lifestyle, to reduce the pollution, to reduce the over exploitation of natural resources, to decrease the population explosion. So here various methods you can see. So methods of family welfare is family planning programs. So traditional method is there, modern method is there. In modern method, permanent method is tubectomy and vasectomy. It can be done for both male and female. Then temporary method is there, condoms, copper teas, then oral pills and injectable drugs are there. So all these are some of the methods of family welfare, and I have discussed this in my previous lecture. You can go through it. The next question is, explain the objectives and concepts of value education. This already previous, I think this is repeated already, we have seen. So we have to tell basically about the objectives, why value education should be given, what are the main objectives or main reasons of this value education. So all of them know about school education, but value education is important so that the cultural, spiritual and basic things can be done. So mainly to improve the integral growth of human beings, then to create attitudes and improvement towards sustainable happiest life, then to know the role of human beings with respect to environment, to conserve our environment, to know the importance of global, national, local environmental issues. So all these are important things. So methods is, teaching method is there, role play is there, problem solving method, studying biographies. All these things are some of the methods of value education. Then write a note on, next question is, write a note on human rights. So human rights is very important thing. So it tells about the fundamental rights, and you have to tell about UNDHR, Universal Declaration of Human Rights. So human rights to freedom, human rights to freedom of religion, human rights to equality, human rights to constitutional remedies, human rights to culture and education, human rights against exploitation, human rights to property, human rights to food and environment, human rights to good health. All these things I mean, based on this, some articles are also there. So I have dealt in the previous lecture, you can note it. Then explain the source and mode of transmission of HIV infections and explain the precautions. So based on this HIV, you have to tell about the source, what are the factors, how it is transmitted, how it affects, and what are the control measures also you can tell. Then the last question is, explain the variation of population among nations. So population among nations, it is an important question, and this one I have read already. So there are three things. So variation of population based on age structure, three different shapes are there. First one is pyramid shape, then urn shaped and bell shape. Three things we are having. So see, based on the age structure, three classes are there. One is pre-productive age, that is 0 to 14 years. Then reproductive 15 to 44 years, and post-productive is 45 years and above. So based on this three types of age pyramids. First one is pyramid shape. So an increase in population it is there. So bottom will be broad. So the young population soon they will enter into the reproductive state. So the population increases. The next one is bell shaped. In bell shaped, the structure of a bell. So both reproductive and pre-productive are the same. So it shows a stable population growth. And the third one is urn shaped. So urn shaped in the young class, that is in the pre-productive stage, is very less than the reproductive. So the reproductive stage they will enter, it is less than the pre-productive stage in the next 10 years. So it shows a decrease in population. So this one you have to explain with the diagram and explanation you have to explain. So I think you have understood. Thank you for your patient listening. Thank you.